Kia ora. Colleagues, friends old and new that I've met today, I feel very privileged to stand before you at what I understand might be the largest gathering of park people ever in New Zealand. Let's give ourselves a hand. And as we say in America, good on you, mates. I'm here mainly in support of the Oceania region of the International Ranger Federation, IRF, in their efforts to help develop ranger associations throughout Oceania, and specifically to help the Rangers of New Zealand form their association. And in this regard, they've done a fantastic job, and I'm going to have a little gift for them a little bit later on. Whoops. I dropped a patch here so I wouldn't remind myself at the end that I am referred to as the Sultan of Swag as far as trading goes. But I will say that Andy Davies over in the corner is also known as the Minister of Trade. My compadre out there. I'll leave this one right up here as a little gift for someone who gets up here next. I've been involved with the IRF since 1994 in our first World Ranger Congress in Poland, but my involvement in the IRF is not as extensive as someone in this room. Kristen Hay here has, I think, been to every World Ranger Congress. Kristen? She's a very easy person to find in any room. I don't know exactly why, but you can pick her out pretty easily. I'm currently the International Treasurer, and in that role, I'm also on the IRF Executive Committee. So for the last 3 years, I've been involved in kind of virtually everything that's happened on the IRF side, and I'll have plenty of time for questions if you have anything a little bit later. We've been doing a lot of things with the IRF. Probably one of the foremost things is we incorporated the IRF. The IRF was started in the United Kingdom, and it had a constitution, but it wasn't formally incorporated. And then we incorporated in Australia. We could have incorporated in any country in the world, but we incorporated here, so that was a big achievement. And I want the Rangers of Aotearoa, New Zealand to not feel bad if you're a little slow out of the gate, because it's the 30-year anniversary of the IRF, and now we've just got incorporated a couple of years ago. So you're not too late to get there. Some of the other things that the IRF has done is, as mentioned earlier, the Code of Conduct. We've never had an international Code of Conduct out there for Rangers, and not only has the IRF adopted it, but many of the large NGOs that we're now working with, like the World Wildlife Fund and stuff, have adopted and promoted that for in countries and areas where they work. So this is a very, very big step in the idea of international rangers and recognition and kind of consistency of how people think about rangers, so this code of conduct. The other thing that's been going on, and some of you have participated, we've had a whole series of webinars and online programs. Anybody gone to any of those programs? No? They probably didn't stretch all the way to New Zealand, maybe. No, I'm kidding. And probably one of the biggest things that's happened in the IRF in the last 3 years is the IRF has always had a very, very strong and symbiotic relationship with the Thin Green Line Foundation. I wanted to thank them again for all they've done. But one of the ways that we've branched out is partnering with some of the big NGOs of conservation NGOs around the world. And partly that's because our president, Chris Galliers, is in Africa, and a lot of these big NGOs are very, very active in Africa, and Chris had a lot of contacts with them. And out of our conference, our World Ranger Congress in Chitwan, Nepal, beautiful spot, I saw somebody, who was that, was wearing their Chitwan shirt. Oh, there we go. Wearing it today. Nice. We had about 600 rangers from 70 countries, I saw it earlier, very big gathering, a lot from Asia, which we've never had a conference. But out of that, we had a kind of plan, the Chitwan Declaration, of how we wanted to proceed. A group of these NGOs, World Wildlife Fund and others, and I can't remember them all, formed the Universal Ranger Alliance to help us with that. And they provided funding to develop the code of conduct. They provided funding for the webinars. They're providing a lot of support in their groups. And we get spin-offs all the time. Some group needs money, and somehow the World Wildlife Fund in Cambodia is supporting somebody in Latin America. It's a really wonderful thing that's happening. And so this collaboration with these large conservation NGOs has been very good. All the officers here, which is Andy, is our on the board of directors, and also, what's her name? I love Jolene because she gets names wrong. I want to pronounce her name wrong. I say like, and Joey, or what's her name? Joe is also on the board here. So they're very aware that we're all volunteers working at full capacity, I can tell you. In addition to my 40-year career in California state parks, I was a ranger, supervising ranger, and towards the end, a park superintendent, which was probably the worst part of my career, you know, budgets, and problems, and who's smoking in vehicles, and all that stuff, right? And the first part was a lot better. I've also been very involved in a large number of groups. I've been, from the very earliest time, kind of a group joiner, active officer. I can tell you right now, I'm probably 6 or 8 groups that I'm active in. And I wanted to bring that today for our friends here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and their effort to form a group. And because about half of you are from it, I just want to talk a little bit what everybody already knows, the value of a effective, active group. And no better example than what we have here. The IRF sponsoring, organizing, getting this going in New Zealand. My own group, the California State Park Ranger Association, was founded in 1964. It's been going for 58 years, one of the oldest ranger associations in North America and maybe around, and many other groups. It allows you to share, collaborate, commiserate, to interact with your colleagues, and in a way that helps motivate you and develop that sense of what you're doing is really worthwhile. We all get bogged down in the day-to-day, trials of work, and then there's the agency issues, right? The government part of it, that gets us all down. But it's a way to rejuvenate. And one of the things I thought of when I was thinking about this is for the New Zealand Rangers is that we have a group in California called the Park Ranger Association in California. And it's not our state park ranger group. It's a group of rangers from local, city, regional, state, and national. A whole blend of rangers from different organizations. And they put on an annual training conference that's very popular. And when I was listening yesterday to the program a little bit, there was questions about, the need for training in New Zealand. I thought to myself, this is a possible gap or an area that the association could fill in if they organize an annual training program on topics of interest to everybody from, Auckland City to regional parks to it. I think the potential there is very valuable. And in the case with the Park Ranger Association of California, the agencies do support people going that, and it is a kind of official training. So it's just a thought for the Ranger Association of New Zealand. That's something that could also work for you, and it's a way to start. Then you get those people together, then they start thinking about projects, they start sharing about Junior Ranger, and the whole thing germinates. So I'm hoping, I know Oceana's hoping, I know Andy and Joe and all the organizers of this are hoping that this will be the impetus for it. And I do believe that there is going to be the first ever AGM for the group. Is that right? Today? Sometime? Today? No? Yes? So who are there's some key people in that group. Could you Raise your hand and identify yourself. Rodney? Key person, key people?
12,
And your staff of hundreds?
12:15 today, 12:15.
What time is your AGM? 12:15.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be there just to help out and answer any questions that you might have that I could help you with. It's stealing my notes. In this ongoing effort, the Rangers of Aotearoa, New Zealand, or a provisional member of the IRF is getting them to full member status, which become, an official, informal group within the country also. And that's really one of the goals. Just a couple, I'm definitely going to be sharing up a couple points I already hit on. Salt and the swag, come get one of your patches from me, or Andy, or other people have dropped off a lot of beautiful stuff over there, patches, pins, and stickers, Junior Ranger stickers, so do stop by over there and help out. And then the final thing I have, before I take questions, is I have a gift for the Rangers of Aotearoa, New Zealand. That is, I am making a personal donation to the group of $5,000 US. The adage comes to mind to me when I thought of this is, an army moves on its stomach. You have to have money. And the other one was, put your money where your mouth is, Mike. So I make that donation. I only have two small conditions. One, they gotta get formally organized. Like with kids, you gotta complete the Junior Ranger program before you get the badge. And secondly, they need to have a bank account for me to send the money to. So I hope in that way to help launch financially and help the Rangers of New Zealand. Thank you. And with that, I'm way short on my time, which I planned on. No one believed I could do it. Any questions? IRF, organizations, which patch is the coolest? Don't anybody bid on the patch puzzle over there because I want it. Yes, sir.
Which patch is the coolest?
Well, I'm not partial to any particular patch, but I do love our own. It's ironic the California State Park Ranger patch has a grizzly bear on it. The ironic part is the last grizzly bear was killed in California in 1912. And they haven't been reintroduced yet. So there are so many. I have a fantastic collection. I think maybe 500-600 park patches from around the world. So anyone who wants to make my forum better, give me a patch. Questions? All right, super. How'd I do? How many extra minutes did I give everybody else? Plenty. Let's give me a hand for extra time.